My crew were definitely not happy with me, but they were being paid to follow orders, not be scared. Since humanity's introduction to the galactic stage, everyone has been avoiding them like the Blue Plague. First contact was a nightmare for the entire galaxy. No losses, no deaths, no grand battle, just a collective gasp of, "What the hell are they even?" by the entire galaxy before effectively hiding in a shadowy corner. I do in fact share my crew's concerns, but I smell money. 2 years of being in the shadows attempting to not antagonize the sleeping giant of war has left the market wide open. My crew didn't know it, but I was about to make all of us stinking rich. "Are we close?" I asked from my chair. "Yes, sir. We'll be out of slip in a minute. Sensors are going crazy, though," Ensign Wartak said from his seat. "I know. The system we're aiming for is owned by a private entity, though, not a massive fleet. It should be easy to establish contact," I replied. "Are you sure about this, sir?" Aluka, my gunnery sergeant, asked. "No, but it's better than debt slavery or the gallows, isn't it?" I looked at them with an accusatory glare. "No need to salt the wound, sir." Oliver, my comms officer, replied. "Apparently I did. This is everyone's last chance. My merchant's bones are tingling. I know this is going to be worth it. 200 years of this, I've never been wrong," I said with a crooked grin. Slip in 2, 1. We all collectively shat ourselves nearly to death at the sight of one of the humans' attack moons. We had appeared out of the slip close enough to it. It immediately registered our presence, and we had 7,000 cannons aimed at us almost instantly. The friggin' beast was enormous. The humans basically just took an entire planet, a mid-sized moon in this case, and saturated its surface with cannons, armor plating, and industry. If it wasn't for the giant bugger-off rocket engine on the rear, it would be unmistakable for a manufacturing world. I had seen some of the initial reports and saw some photos of one of the humans' attack fleets during first contact. A war moon, an entire planet converted into a battleship. Its entire surface bristling with 10 fleets worth of weapons and its main cannon, a star-exploding laser beam weapon. This one was a lot less armed. It had more greenhouse domes and solar arrays than guns, but the guns it did have were still enough to vaporize any fleet in the Imperium. "That is an independent? What the hell, sir? You can't possibly tell me that thing is not part of a national fleet," Wartak replied as we panicked. "We have a hail, sir. It noticed us," Oliver yelled. "Of course they noticed us. They can probably smell the fecal material we just spewed into our seats. Pull it up," I yelled, adjusting myself in my seat. "Attention unregistered craft. Identify yourself immediately." A distorted but clearly feminine voice spoke from the radio. "Hold on a second. I think my heart stopped. Wait, there it is. Okay, it didn't stop," I said, holding my hand over my chest. I heard a giggle of some kind coming from the other end of the radio. "Okay, my name is Theran Tor of Clan Kunotar. I am a registered merchant of the HFY Imperium. I'm here to look for a market or somewhere I can do business. Can we have directions to a trade network?" I asked, still desperately clutching my chest. Yeah, sure. There's no trade network or market, but I do have stuff to trade and sell," the voice said. "That works. Anywhere we can land?" I asked. "Yeah, sure. There. I've lit up landing platforms for the materials network. Bright green lights, can't miss them. Land anywhere and I'll be right with you. You do breathe oxygen, right?" the voice asked. "Yes, we do. Coming in for landing. Thank you," I said. I nodded to Wartak to move and he hesitated, understandably, but eventually came to his senses and flew us towards one of the landing platforms. The closer we got to this thing, the more terrified we became, as the sheer bastarding scale of this place became more apparent the closer we got. Towering edifices of skyscrapers and towering struts atop which sat battleship turrets. Then, as we approached one of the landing platforms, I noticed a certain telltale sign of one of the galaxy's deadliest natural threats. I rushed up out of my seat and peered out the window, and sure enough, inside one of the huge domes, there it was. Is that a Bakandi Deathworm?" I yelled in a panic, looking at one of the greenhouse domes nearby. We paused mid-landing and looked at the dome. Sure enough, the worm popped up out of the ground, its massive jaw splaying open like a carnivorous flower, absorbing the light from the local star. The dome was a massive mile-wide hexagonal monstrosity, covered in heavy transparent glass, covering a field of green grass. The worm had made a series of distinct holes in the ground, and was carving tunnels through the planet's crust, like they all do, rumbling through absorbing minerals and nutrients in the ground. Human? Human, are you there? I said into the radio in full panic. Yeah, I'm here. Something go wrong? Don't worry about the turrets, the voice replied. Do you know you have a worm infestation on your planet? Or ship planet? Whatever. We just saw a Bakandi Deathworm inside one of those greenhouse domes. You need to defend yourself, I yelled. Bakandi Deathworm? Oh! So you did see Jeff. He is adorable, isn't he? It's fine, he's just saying hello. That's not a Bacardi whatever Deathworm. That's Jeff. Are you coming in for a landing or what? I'm waiting, the radio replied. Don't. I give up. Just land us, please. I can't. I just can't, I said as I slumped in my seat, clutching my chest harder. The ship flew to a landing platform and we landed with a thud. Oh, why did I do this? Oh, right, money. I strained in my seat and stood up, heading to the cargo bay, still desperately clutching my aching chest. We can run away, sir. Maybe we can find a black hole to fly into or something, Oliver said as we walked together. Might be an option. Oh, gods, I'm too old for this. Open cargo, I yelled. The doors opened, and an entry field still secured the pressure gradient in the ship. In the time it took us to land and secure, a dome had appeared above us, and a tunnel had connected itself to the dome, giving us access to the interior of the planet ship. We were greeted by a train or tram of some kind on a monorail that appeared out of the ground. It rolled into view, stopping nearby and up from the ground, a series of robotic arms, cranes, and conveyor belts deployed. The train itself had a front engine, a passenger car, and 3 flatbed trailers. Also deploying from the ground, a rather menacing-looking war robot of some kind appeared and stood to attention nearby. The door of the train opened and out stepped a human female. Long void black hair, brown eyes, an augmented cybernetic left arm, and what appeared to be a strange-looking pink headset with pointy ear-like accessories. The war robot approached. It was twice her size, humanoid in shape with a pointy head, 4 bladed arms, and a monowheel for mobility. It stood there and stared at us, menacingly. Well, howdy. Welcome to my humble abode. My name is Lorelei. What can I do for you? She said. She had a sweet, inviting, friendly smile and a beautifully melodic voice. Her mannerism of speaking was strangely intimidating, though. Yes, hello, I hope. I'm afraid I don't have much to trade, but I hope we can do business, I said, trying to return her smile. Huh, nice. A pink space vampire elf, 2 purple goblins, and a space jellyfish. Cool. Never seen aliens before. Nice to meet y'all, she said with a happy tone. Pleasure to meet you. Please, excuse me. My heart is attempting to escape at the moment. Too old. Too old for this. I remained still and tried to calm down. Do I need to take you to medbay? She asked. No, it's fine. I just need to calm down. This place is insane. You are insane. The Deathworm named Jeff is insane. Everything is insane. If I wasn't having heart palpitations, I would assume I were dreaming. Oh dear, I said, leaning against one of the few crates we brought with us while I took a breath. She laughed at our expense. Apparently this was quite funny. She hopped off the train and used a holographic interface she had to show us a list. So, what did you guys bring? She asked. Musical instruments, reproductions of cultural artifacts, some tourist souvenirs, and a full archive library of our culture. I had no idea what else to bring, and frankly, I could afford nothing else, so here you go, I said, handing her a datapad with a cargo manifest. Oh, cool. That's super useful. Here, see this holo thingy? That's my current cargo manifest. You can see what you like and we'll make a deal. Let me load up all you got, and I'll take you to the main cargo bay, she replied, and started loading up the crates we had. Thank you. Quick now, on board. Come on. I gestured to my crew when we hopped on the train. I supervised loading the crates on board and made my way aboard shortly after. The place was a lot more lavishly decorated than I expected. Wood flooring, polished metal guardrails, gilded furniture with silky soft cushioning. My, I love how accommodating our new host is, Wartak said, as he sank in a most relaxed manner into his seat. It's terrifying. I have no idea what's more terrifying. Let's just hope this pays off, Aluka said. It will. Despite the circumstances, my bones are tingling. I know this will pay off more than we could ever imagine. I'm certain of it. My brain is screaming, run, run, but my merchant's instinct is screaming a bit louder, saying, money, 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 I reasoned calmly. Well, as calmly as possible. Here we are, gents. Main cargo hub, Lorelei bellowed from her spot up front. Indeed we were. A massive dome built over an enormous crater, with tunnels leading in every possible direction straight into the crust of the planet. Machines upon machines, structures within structures, cargo trains loaded with tens of thousands of tons of cargo, flying on tracks in every conceivable direction. Conveyor belts with crates and boxes weaving in and out of the mess of logistics rope. In the center of it all, a large spheroid structure with thousands of displays of all kinds, showing the entire sum of cargo for this place. We stopped at the station there and looked up at the machinery, distracted by the sheer scale and complexity of this manufacturing operation. We were so distracted we failed to notice Lorelei unloading all our cargo and sending it on a train to her vault for safekeeping. She snapped her fingers in front of us and smiled as she regained our attention. Nice place, huh? It's not that impressive. I've seen bigger things. Much bigger. But anyway, go up to the console there and take a look. I've already done all the hard work. You can just grab and go, she said with a warm, friendly smile. Oh. Bigger. Yes, sure. Why not? What to see? Calculated cargo volume from a ship scan, max cargo weight, even currency exchange rates according to archive data? That was damn fast, I said, looking over the data. Her system has scanned our ship. A max cargo volume, cargo weight, and everything we could possibly need had already been done for me, and I could just click buttons and go. Well, yeah. High cargo volumes, heavy traffic, trade negotiations. We made systems like this centuries ago just to make trade rates easier. Everything's fair. I did some manual checking to at least try to give our two economies a fair exchange rate. But first-time customers always get a 1-to-1 trade ratio. So you're welcome, she said, again with a happy smile. Seriously? Well, how many... What the actual fuck? I yelled, as my jaw dropped on seeing the amount. Their economy was 20 times ours, with an exchange rate of 22.5 Imperial Trade Guild coins to one of their Federal Exchange credits. No, this can't be right. 6 million? 6 million? This can't be correct. You can't possibly tell me that you are offering me that amount of money for some cheap souvenirs and a historical archive, I yelled out. Well, yeah, I am. That archive is worth its weight in gold to the feds. They always want to learn stuff. It's not like I can't afford it. Anyway, she said. She looked behind us, towards the tunnel we came in from, and waved. Oh, hey, Jeffy. How's my big wormy today? I turned, and my soul evaporated from my body out of sheer terror. Directly in front of us, right there, the Deathworm. It was standing right there. Its mouth was closed, scrolling around on its belly. Its jaws closed like the patchwork of a cloth doll, and above that, 2 long antenna-like feeder appendages, just below 2 small beady eyes. Those eyes stared straight at us. It made no noise and just sat there, staring. Its skin had a dark red, dusty tint, indicating its primary diet was rich in iron, was pulsing with visible veins and a strange pattern in its scaly, semi-transparent hide. I now had an idea of the size of it. One of the younger, smaller ones, to be certain, but still big enough that it would be a serious threat to anyone. It had to be at least a mile in length, 20, maybe 30 feet in diameter. Weight, I guess somewhere in the range of 2,000 tons. Maybe 50 galactic standard cycles in age. Relatively young. Still very small compared to the more notable examples. It sat there, quiet, calm, still staring at us. "Jeffy Poo!" Lorelei excitedly exclaimed, then moved up to it to hug it. "How's my big wormy boy today, huh? You been good?" She cooed softly at it, rubbing its metal tough skin. It looked at her with those tiny eyes and seemed to emit a noise like a purr or happy growl of some kind. It moved its head gently, rubbing itself against the cooing human. "Good boy. What you here for, huh? Want to say hello? Go on, say hi, Jeffy," she cooed happily, directing the worm to us. What followed was the single most terrifyingly terrifying terror I have ever seen in my life. The worm crumpled its lips, moved its jowls a bit and scrunched its face, forming its variant amalgam of the single most horrifying smile I have ever or will ever see. I recorded the whole thing. Face to face with a creature the galaxy has known for hundreds of millennia as a demon of death and misery, being treated like a beloved family pet. In a zombie-like state, I raised a hand and waved at it, despite my entire existence being in a state of uncontrollable soul-crushing fear. Lorelei gave it another hug and then some encouraging pats, cooing at it happily as she did. Good boy! Good boy! Jeffy want chickies?" she asked. The beast heard that word and started to growl enthusiastically, the ground shaking from its tail thumping on the ground. "Oh, good. You gotta go find it. Jeffy, go fetch!" she yelled with excitement. The beast slinked back a bit, its mouth pulsating with teeth as it excitedly sniffled along the ground. It let out a terrifying roar and charged with more speed than any creature that size had any right to move, disappearing down one of the service tunnels. We stood there, completely dumbstruck, unable to sapience, as we vaguely tried to process the absurd, insane, horrifying thing we just saw. As humans would put it, we could no longer brain. "Ain't he just the cutest?" Lorelei gushed, as she pressed some buttons on the trade console. "Anyway, I think I'll try to make it easier for you guys. Here, copy of our own historical archive data, language database, and let's go for some pallets of gold, silver, platinum, titanium, and chromium. According to your archive data, that's pretty pricey stuff," she chirped. My merchant's instinct slapped me out of my terrified daze on hearing the words gold and platinum, and I snapped back to attention. "Money!" I yelled and returned to the console. "How much can I fit in my cargo bay?" She laughed at my vocalization. "My god, just like Mr. Krabs. I like you already. Unfortunately, there's not enough cargo space to fit in most of it. Your ship is too small. In fact, how's about you come back to Terran space with me? We can set up proper trade networks and get your merchant's license set up," she said melodically. Just then we heard a strange noise. A noise that called us back to Jeff, who had an odd creature squirming around, clucking in its antenna. "Good boy, Jeffy! Go on, have your chickies. You earned it," Lorelei chirped at him. Again, my soul disappeared from my body for a bit longer than it already had, as Jeff opened his gaping, tooth-filled fleshy maw. Then, with one loud "Pagah!" the creature it was holding was torn to shreds in its jowls. Jeff happily chewed on the poor beast, making happy-sounding grumbling noises as its tail thudded on the ground. "Good boy, Jeffy. Okay, so let's get you guys situated back on your ship, then we can ferry you guys through to Terran space," Lorelei said, giving Jeff an encouraging hug. Actually, we'd rather go on our own terms and, I tried to say. "Oh, grow a spine, you bitch. It's just a worm. Jeff doesn't ever hurt nobody. He's a good boy. Get back to your ship and relax. I'm heading back home to Fed Space soon anyway, so you might as well get comfy," Lorelei said scoldingly, chastising us for our apparent cowardice. "Yes, ma'am," was all I could muster in response. We returned to our ship, our cargo hold already chock full of boxes and pallets of ingots, mineral dust and valuable metals, enough to pay off all our debts and then some. But we couldn't rest. We couldn't relax. We had no peace for the next few days, as no matter where we went, there was Jeff. We sat on the bridge of our ship, shaking in our very skins, as through the entire trip into Federation space, there he was, poking his head out of the tunnel, always just sitting there, smiling at us.